Hello, y'all. It's now 6:12 p.m. So I didn't do it today, but yesterday I put some coconut oil in my ear. Um, the swelling kind of went down a little bit, but I'm feeling the sleep deprived feeling. I didn't get around to it yet, but I wanted to work on, a short story, but I did some other blogging today. And there they go with the loud music. But y'all can't hear it because the I have that thing on, the air conditioner. So I had to take my earbuds off because it still feels weird, like torture to my brain and my teeth for some reason to try to talk with the earbuds in. So the little midget next door, when as soon as after I tried to take a nap earlier today, and he slammed the door loud enough that you knew it was deliberate. And so he slammed the door at least 3 times earlier today. And I felt tempted to want to go over and tell him something. But he has those two big, huge Rottweilers. I don't know if they're Rottweilers or what kind of dogs. But he has those big, scary dogs. And he takes advantage of slamming the doors super loud unnecessarily. And he waited until after I started to try to take a nap. So I've been feeling sluggish and sleep deprived all day long. And I wrote, a blog post about that little recipe that I did earlier. And that might be one of the few recipes that it might be the only time in my life to have something like that, and it might be just something that will end up being buried in the back of my mind, that might be the only time in my life to have such a recipe like that to eat. But that was all I had to eat today so far, and it's like I wish I had like a decent meal or something with meat in it. And my body is feeling weak right now. At the moment, it's like feeling very weak. And so I did that blog post, posting a little bit of personal stuff in a journal like thing. And because it's like I tried to post about the recipe, but I had to talk about, how to, you hear that? About how the perps thumbs down all my videos and stuff like, and so then it turned personal or whatever. But I figured, well, if you just want me to get straight to the point and just tell the recipe only, I got the video, and plus I posted the link to the Ko-fi and just put the recipe only accompanied with a picture and a video, a short video. But I did the video talking about, and I showed about the harassment with the ambulance sirens, and other targeted individuals will recognize the truth. But 5 perps gave me a thumbs down. I'm like, well, they must be really mad at me for showing the truth or exposing the truth. And so they want to talk about, people want to be like, don't even give these perps your energy. And, I just don't even give them any attention, or they feed off my attention or whatever. And so I'd be like, well, that's the only way to get them to stop, is to, because the moment I thought of to go grab my phone and go and confront that guy next door, that's when he stopped with the slamming doors. And then I'm startled and agitated because because and now I couldn't even get any sleep. And when I was working on my writing, the vibrating was almost unbearable enough that I had to be forced to stop. But I continued, and the moment I mentioned that, they just started vibrating me again. And see, now they stopped. And so I also wrote a blog post. Like I promised, I finally got around to writing a blog post about my experiences with panhandling as a homeless TI. My personal experiences panhandling as a homeless targeted individual. And well, some of y'all probably going to be offended by it. But some of y'all gonna end up being offended by it or whatever. Probably, maybe not. I don't know. But I didn't get to write a short story, and it's like I'm surprised that I even was able to get it out. It's like I felt so sluggish and felt mentally tortured by the sleep deprivation that I didn't even, because of him, I didn't even get to take a nap. And my body and my mind so badly needed to take a nap. And I almost successfully got to, doze off and take a nap. And then right after, that's when he started repeatedly slamming doors multiple times in a short period of time, So, people pretend to fake like my posts on Twitter, and they don't want to retweet or spread the word to get me any help to stay off the streets. So, I revisited that website about the exposed gang stalking. And personal experience, that website confirmed my personal experiences about how, and that's what the blog post was, about my panhandling experiences, and plus me talking about their recent attempts at trying to come at me and act like they want to try to get me to sell out. The only way I'm allowed to eat is if I have to perp for food, in which I never done because I'm not initiated and I'm not sold out. But that's what they're trying to get me to do. And I'm trying whatever I can to get, keep my soul. I don't want to lose my soul. So I'm considered the incorrupted, or I'm sorry, I'm the uncorrupted targeted individual that has not become a perp. And I never sold out or took a bribe or whatever. But the perps are becoming more slick. Trying to be more slick at trying to get me to sell out because they know I'm at my lowest. And I could not find the area of that website where they try to say, well, they won't allow you to eat unless you're willing to perp, then you can eat. Cannot find it. Maybe I have to read the whole website all over again, and maybe I can find it. But it's two-way suicide. A physical suicide, to murder yourself and you die, like any other people. If they die and there's your funeral, and you lay in a casket and you'll be underground 6 feet, or you get cremated or whatever, or if you're buried or something like that, or if you're in a vault or in a crypt or somewhere, that kind of death. Or the spiritual suicide, as in you spiritually kill yourself by selling out. And it seems like as if they're creating these end times events. Like it was started the beginning of 2020, March 2020, we all know what happened. And, the food shortages and inflation. And I heard that at Costco and a few other stores that they're putting limits on food. I haven't even been in the grocery store in a little while. I guess the last time was probably at the beginning of this month. And and so, as I said, I am very low on food. Let me see what I got. Now it's to the point where I have very little of my supplement left in the freezer. Other than that, and this little seasoning. I had to put the seasoning, take it out of its container, and then put the seasoning in the I had to put the seasoning in a little bag because the top of it was getting like moldy at the top for some reason. So, excuse me. All I have is this one pack of pudding, probably 1 or 2 days worth of milk, a few apples, and some salad. The bag of salad, I still haven't got to eat that yet. A few eggs, and I'm almost out of this, but I think I might have another box. And other than the little eggs, I just about ran out. Other than the eggs, I ran out of breakfast food. I ran out of breakfast food, and I just have a few little things of vegetables, and this right here. That's all I got. And a couple of little other things, So, yeah, and the coconut oil and stuff. Yeah, a couple of other little things. But, oh, God. But it's like, I know the narcissistic perps. I might just have doggone because I didn't have the eggs earlier. I'm probably just going to have the noodles, that only little cup of noodles, 2 eggs, and the salad, and try to make sure I eat the salad, for dinner. And if I'm still hungry, then I don't know if I'll, eat apples, but some of the apples look like as if they're still got some green on it. I'm kind of scared to eat it. If you eat underripe apples, I heard it can be poisonous or something. I don't know. But, and this week, so far, I haven't gotten any donations at all. No donations or no money at all. Not this week. Both in person and, online. I've gotten no donations, no help at all. And so, and I got until Friday, or else I would have to be back on the streets. But then I would be stuck in a dilemma, because if I don't have, any money to go back to my storage unit, and have to put all this stuff up, and then have to live back on the streets, and then be at risk for bad weather or being rained on or anything like that. And I saw somebody tweet on Twitter earlier. Well, the person probably posted it another time, but I saw it this morning, that somebody said and it was somebody I guess in Ireland. And he said that he was forced to be homeless on the streets with no money as a targeted individual. But even professed Christians these days are becoming satanic and selling out. And while I'm on here, I almost forgot. I heard there is a brand new shelter that just opened up, but it's a transitional shelter for men only. But they didn't help the Caleb guy, the guy with the huts and stuff. They didn't help him with enough funds, with the donations or anything like that. They didn't help him with the sprinklers to get that shelter running, and that was supposed to be for, I guess, men, women, and children. And they didn't help him out, but they helped this church or whatever out. They got their sprinklers, and now it's like a smaller shelter for just men only. A transitional shelter to help druggy men to get jobs and stuff. Ain't nothing out here really for single women. And then if there is, then, it won't last long if you're a targeted individual, because they'll mob you out of that shelter or bully you out of that shelter or set you up to get arrested and go to jail or locked up in a mental institution. So I feel bad, because I feel like I wish I would have known this agenda of the targeting. I wish I had a way to save my Section 8 and save my house. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And now I'm trying to fight to get it back. But then it's like, even living here, they vibrate me bad enough to make it unbearable to even stay here. They vibrate my body, with the direct energy weapons. So it seems like as if you can't get comfortable or stay comfortable with staying here anywhere permanently. And they abuse and play all kinds of psychological games and stuff. And so, if people want to talk about shelters and stuff, why don't you and they say with an attitude like as if they want to try to blow you off. Oh, why don't you just go to a shelter? And they make it like as if it's so simple. And you're the same kind of people who say that psychiatric medications work and that they're good for you. Well, if they're so great for you, then why have you never taken them? But you can tell it's, the psychiatric medication thing is used as like weaponized punishment. So, I hear more loud bass music outside. But I'm crying and screaming out for help for $365 to stay here for another week and more help for food. This is my first time standing out here today. And it's that time for the weather that they have. It's the time for the weather where you got to deal with all kinds of flies, mosquitoes, and whatever else. Dang. So, y'all might get mad, but if y'all want to, y'all can look on my most recent blog post. I have the link in the description box to my blog, my Ko-fi, and my fundraiser and everything like that, and my PayPal and CashApp. So, I'm telling y'all, the ropes of what I have had to experience as a homeless target. It seems like hardly anybody is homeless or targeted anymore. And then it's like, I've dealt with some people who say that they're targeted or a homeless TI, and then they act like a fake TI perp, and they say that they get V2K, voice to skull. So, it's like really scary with trying to survive, and people saying stock up and prepare, and They're talking about inflation and food shortages and supply chain breaking or whatever. And I just panicking because I don't know what to do. And they won't allow me to work. Well, I guess I'm going to put it in the description box. I think it was just a gnat that crawled on my shoulder. Yuck. So I'm gonna put in the description box. I switched my mind. I'm gonna put the link in the description box about the I'm gonna put the link in the description box. Please read the description box, the link in the description box about that blog post on what I have to experience as a homeless target, panhandling on the streets. How you get perked while panhandling. And nobody wants to talk about targeting anymore. Nobody wants to talk about the gang stalking no more. And then they want to say, oh, just don't give these demons your energy. And stuff like that, But it's like you're still going through it. And, how am I supposed to be silenced on being forced to be back on the verge of being back on the streets again? And if they might try to capture me with having me locked up in jail or the mental institution. And nobody cares, not even my family. And in fact, that's what they want. And they're rubbing their hands together just waiting. So, please, I'm struggling. And, it's like people don't even, I guess they're that mentally fluoridated that they don't even care about another human suffering anymore. It's like they laugh at it. It's funny to them. And like I see on Inside Edition YouTube channel, the people brag and laugh about it, trying to say, oh, it's good that such and such bad happened to this and that person. They deserve it. And it's like y'all some online gang stalking trolls trying to think it's funny, to say that it's good that an 8-year-old was raped, beaten, and tied up by her grandfather or something. And then on Inside Edition, like for example, those kids that got they were on a school bus and got hit by cars going at 100 miles per hour. And I don't even know if anybody would have survived that. But the kids, I guess they all survived, but a few were injured. And I think they said the bus driver was injured. And people in the comments were saying that the kids got what they deserved. And there were some trolls laughing and say that's good that happened to them and stuff. And it's like, how do they not get their accounts terminated for saying stuff like that, But I guess I really wish I could have some meat, even if it's some chicken tonight. But it seems like there'll be no way I can get any chicken tonight, any chicken. But I would have to order it. Or they got egg rolls for $5, or probably a little more than that, at $5 or $6 at that Asian food stand. But those ladies, sometimes they're rude, sometimes they're not, and then I have to deal with being gang stalked and abused and stuff. And they try to set me up to go to jail or make me if they're gangster and ghetto, because this is in the hood. They'll leave me afraid that they're gonna get violent or put their hands on me or something. So I guess I have to just survive with no meat tonight. And my body just feels so weak right now. And a religious narc would be like, you need to be fasting. You're just greedy. You're just greedy. You're just greedy. You're greedy. You're just greedy. You need to be fasting. You don't need to be eating all that food. Well, I only ate once so far. And that little cup of noodles and 2 eggs and some salad, they'll be like, well, that is more than plenty. And you're just trying to be greedy, you know. So, but I have $0 for this week for the help with the 365, and I have less than 24 hours to get it in. I'm sorry, not 24. I meant to say 48. I'm sorry. That's my sleep deprivation. I meant to say 48 hours to get it in. So I got 2 days. And so, as I said, next week I shouldn't have to ask for any help next week. But, I'm trying to prevent having to be back on the streets. And they won't let me work. So, I would like to work on a fiction short story and show y'all this evening or tonight. I would like to work on a fiction short story, and then do some more blogging. And thanks in advance for any and all help.